Jess Ramirez here at the Marshalltown YMCA YWCA, talking about some programs that we have for a wide variety of ages. First of all, we have our drop-in childcare program, and that's available to members who have young children ages 6 months all the way up to 11 years old. And we'll take care of your children while you utilize the Y or attend other programs here at the Y. And that's part of your membership, and it's good for 2 hours. So we've worked really hard to make sure that we're following all safety precautions and making sure that we have sanitation procedures in place. And many parents have really appreciated being able to bring their kids in and to be able to participate in the Y and know that their kids are safe and having a good time while they're doing that. Another program that we have that has recently moved to our main building, the Horn Henry Center, some people call it the new Y, and that's our Hobbycraft Club. And that's a club that's been going for, I think, more than 100 years. And that's a group of crafting. They are all ladies. It doesn't have to be ladies, but it is right now. And it's a group that gets together once a week on Tuesdays, and they work on all sorts of crafts together. There's a lot of good community there and a good social time. And actually once a month, they're going to plan to have potlucks. They have taken a break from those for a while during the pandemic time, but later on they will start having their potlucks again, and that's usually when the men arrive as well. So definitely invite people to check out our programs here at the Y. You can view them on our website. It's www.ymca-ywca.org, or give us a call at 641-752-8658.
She was nervous. Yeah, she was very nervous. She went to grab the cat and the dog and run to the basement. When she was in the basement, she heard all the big noise on the top of the house. She didn't shake it, and pray to God. Pray hard, pray God to save her life. And that's about it. It happened so quick,
My daughter up in Clemens called and said, "Get down in the basement right now." And I said, "I got to find my cat." "Down in the basement right now." So I started down there, and the window came out and hit me and knocked me down the steps to the basement. But I'm all right.
Well, that's good. Did you get your cat?
Pardon?
Were you able to get your cat? No.
No. I didn't think it would ever happen. I was in one before, though, but nothing. All it did was knock my lights out and a tree down. That was it. That way I could handle that.
Right.
My initial reaction was just to get the employees somewhere safe and to make sure that they were secure and they were going to be okay. It was scary.
Yeah.
It was scary.
Can you describe to me like the sounds and the feelings and what was kind of going on?
Everybody says it sounds like a freight train, and it really does. And then just the suction from the wind tunnel, and it was probably the most crazy thing I've ever experienced.
I'm Joa LaVille, the Youth Services librarian here at the library, and I thought I'd show kids and families what to expect during our walkthrough phase. Things look a little different. I look a little different. If you come, this is how I look, and so hopefully you can tell I'm smiling at you even if you can't see my smile, because we're always happy to see you. When you first come in the library, we have some of the new guidelines that we have, and so you can kind of see the different information. Right now, we are asking children 9 and under to be directly supervised by an older teen sibling or parent. That's a little stricter than our normal requirements. And we do ask that young children do stay right with a parent when they come in. If people can, they can come in, as small of groups, but we have had families come together. We understand that, sometimes everybody needs to come, so that's just kind of, if you can run in and get something, we try to keep our numbers low. And so right now we have a 25 or lower capacity in the whole building. And sometimes when there's several big families, that can get pretty high to close to the capacity mark. We also ask that people spend 45 minutes or less when they do visit the library right now during the walkthrough phase. We hope this won't be forever, but so far this is working for us to be able to offer you library books. You will come over to this table and somebody will welcome you and give you a sticker that tells what time you came in. And if you have any questions, you can let them know. You can see that our bathroom, we just have one unlocked bathroom, and if we know there might be an emergency, especially if you bring little ones, so you can ask in youth about that or use this one if you need to, but otherwise they're not really generally available. When you come in, you will see a lot of this, which even though it kind of matches our paint, it's kind of doesn't look as pretty as, but we have, because we're saying right now we're walkthrough, kind of meaning come, get your things and leave within 20 or 45 minutes. We don't have seating areas and we don't really have ways to allow people to gather together, which is sad for us, but right now is an important safety thing for us to do. You can see there's arrows on the floor, and so that's to help people kind of keep the social distancing. And so if you were to come to youth, you can come on in here. We do have a hand sanitizer thing at the front, one here. People are welcome. We keep those full all the time. Here's our youth services desk. This is where I usually sit. Don't look at my messy stuff. We've been very busy, which I'll show you here in a minute. We've been re-tagging and looking at the condition of the entire collection during our closure, so that's made things a little bit messy, but we hope good overall. You can see we've tried to display a lot of books everywhere in really easy ways for people just to be able to grab books so that they can see what they want and know that they haven't been handled a bunch of times. We are quarantining our books when they return for 5 days. So that means that if you return books, you will notice they're not really checked in off your account for at least 5 days. And that's because we keep them separate back there and then we check them in so that you know that they haven't been in another household for, and by that time, more than 5 days. And so that's based on CDC recommendations to prevent surface passage of the virus. So over here, we're all behind the plexiglass, and you'll see everybody is wearing a mask. You would be wearing a mask unless you're very little, because we do require masks the whole time. Masks need to be just like mine is, over your nose and over your mouth the whole time. And so that's where you will see that all of our staff members are following that guideline as well. If you have questions, there will always be at least one person here. One thing that you'll notice, let's go over this way first. Well, you'll notice over here, we used to have, 8 computers. We've reduced way down for social distancing. And because of the requirements of everything and the time, mostly people are just kind of using the computers down at information and here to look up information, maybe print something, but not really a lot of fun things going on the computers because we just don't have the capacity anymore for that during this phase. So this is still all temporary. We will be hopefully back to a more normal time soon. I did want to point out that you'll notice that the library catalog computers are all unavailable. And so a lot of people may not know, you can actually pull up the library's catalog on your smartphone. So you can do that even from home. You can even choose things and have them ready for you through our system that we're calling our pick list. And so that's a great way if you're a busy family and you want to pick all your books and then just stop in and grab them, or even have them brought out to your car. You can do that by using our catalog from home or on your smartphone. If you don't have a smartphone or you'd rather just ask, of course, we are happy to answer questions about where to find things. You'll see this area looks very, lots and lots of books on display. Right now we have a lot of back-to-school books. And I think this area looks very, very different to kids that are used to coming here. We know it's been sad for some little ones. The castle is not here anymore. The Legos are not here. The Lego table area's all snow fenced in. But that's just, we just can't have a lot of things that people are touching and sharing with each other right now, so that we can all be safe, and hopefully we will be able to bring our castle out again soon. We can head around this way. Something that's not changed is just lots of good books on the shelves, and so we hope that you can still find a lot of books. Over here, we've taken away the couch. We really, like I said, don't have seating. We've got Anne sitting over here doing her regular, the routine that she does pretty much every morning before we open. She goes through the books and she looks to see if any need a little bit of cleaning. We're not implying that we're cleaning the whole collection. We are not, the quarantine should be making the checking out safe, but we are just trying to keep them clean. We also have re-tagged the whole collection for a brand new checkout system that will be pretty exciting, because you'll be able to put a whole pile of books on a pad. It's called RFID system, and it'll kind of beam them all at once. So sort of like if you go to Target or one of the stores that have the self-check, it'll be kind of like that. And so that will be a great, it'll be convenient, quick, and a lot less contact for people. So we have had to go through every single book, and I mean every single book in the library, and put a tag in it, and then put that book in the system for that. And we did a lot of that when we were closed. We're continuing to do it. We actually just finished our area, yesterday or the day before, so we thought we should have confetti or something. While we were doing that, we actually really weeded the collection, meaning we took out books that were kind of ratty, or if we needed a new copy. And so this shelf over here has been an exciting thing for families. This shelf right here that has this banner, these are all weeded library books, meaning they're books that we took out of the collection because maybe we had more than one, maybe. So they're a little rough around the edges maybe, but still really good books. And so every time that somebody comes in, they can choose. We've got chapter books in order. This is the beginning reader, a whole bunch of nonfiction, some Spanish, some picture books. They can choose one book to keep at home every time they come. And like I said, if families do leave some of their family members at home and come in just with one child, they're welcome to pick one for every person in their family. And then they'll know that they don't have to bring it back, because it's got the squiggle from the width, and then it also, of course, the one I picked doesn't have a withdrawn stamp. Most of them have a withdrawn stamp in the cover. So when you're at home and you're thinking, which books do I need to bring back, that's how you know. And of course, you're welcome to, you can bring it back and someone else can read it, or you can keep it or pass it on to somebody else that needs books at home. So yeah, that's kind of what we've been doing here. That's why we have the big piles still. We're still getting through that process, and so but we're now into the school year and looking forward to working with families to support you, whether your kids are at school, they're partly at school, you're online, whatever. We hope that we can be a great support in this, so we hope that didn't change too. So.
I'm here today to talk to you about, last week I talked a little bit about, when do you send kids home, or when do you keep kids home from school? And one thing you have to remember is that children, if they're acting like themselves, but they have a little sniffles or a little bit of a cold or cough, then they probably can go to school. If they're acting like themselves, they're not lethargic, they're not complaining of pain. But if they have a fever or nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea, and they're lethargic and not acting like themselves, they do need to stay home. And actually that goes for all of us. One of our jobs as adults is to help take care of other community members, including our people at work. It's not much fun having someone come to work that's coughing all over, that's really sick. We can tell that because it tends to spread throughout the place, right, or the workplace, wherever it may be. And so if you have a fever, you have a cough that just is unrelentless and you don't feel good, you have nausea, vomiting, and especially diarrhea, please stay home from work, because that's just how we take care of everybody. And diarrhea is something that's spread very easily. We can avoid that with hand washing, but you know, it's just, when you're having diarrhea, it's recommended by the medical community that you stay home from work and school. I wanted to talk about, we know today we have a very nice day, but flu season is approaching, and public health never stops talking about flu. Either we're preparing for flu, we're ordering flu, we're vaccinated against flu, we're finishing up the flu season, all those types of things. It just, flu actually never goes away in public health. We always talk about it. So in the last few years, I've not been able to get my vaccine as quickly as I would like, and but this year my vaccine is already here. So I'm going to be making calls out into the community to see if someone has a need, and I'm blessed to be able to go into various businesses in the community. They have me come in and vaccinate their employees, which is a good plan because that helps keep everybody at work. We know that, and also it keeps people from taking flu home to their own families. And I also go into city halls and give vaccine to people that want to get it while they're in town. So I will be making calls to areas around town. State Center for the fire department is usually where I show up at. LeGrand in the City Hall, the library in Albion, to see if they need me to come in, and if they do, they will post a note so that you'll know when I'm going to be there, and I'll be happy to give you flu vaccine. Flu vaccine is not free, but it is, but we do bill Medicare. So if you have Medicare, we will gladly bill Medicare. You know, if people advertise free vaccine, nothing's free. We know that. So the other thing about flu is it's actually, we all need to get our flu shot because babies cannot even have vaccine until they're 6 months old. So we need to be sure that we're up to date with all of our vaccines, including the seasonal flu, because little ones cannot be protected. One reason why you need a flu shot every year is that the vaccine, it changes. It morphs into, changes so that the vaccine that you have received probably isn't going to be effective. So that's why you need a flu vaccine every year. Wouldn't it be great if we could find a flu vaccine that would cover all flu viruses? But that's not the facts. That's not the way it goes. The decision of what is covered in the flu vaccine is made early in the calendar year, and it's made by very smart people at the top of the medical community, and they really look at what viruses are floating around in other parts of the world, and make a decision on what to what flu virus they want to cover in this vaccine for this current year. So sometimes a vaccine is not as effective. We know that. We've seen that, and it makes us kind of grouchy, but it's still important to get the vaccine because any protection is better than none. And also the flu vaccine, the one that I have is a quadrivalent, so that means that it covers 4 of the viruses that are out there that they expect to be active this flu season. So the most important thing you can do is get your flu shot, and then also wash your hands. I've said that many times. Cover your cough and stay home if you're sick. I wanted to talk again about SHIP, which stands for, I have to look at the little notes, Senior Health Insurance Information Program. And that is when Medicare has open enrollment. That's when you can look at your policies and actually make decisions on what policies, or if your policy is right for you. So make sure that you actually look every year. It's the SHIP volunteers have lots of education, and they want and encourage everyone to look at your plan every year because it does change. It can change. What you are used to may not be there next year, and you need to look at your drug plan in particular. I was told that a person who had been taking this certain medication, prescription medication, that the price had been satisfactory for a long time, and then on the next year it went up substantially, and it was a hardship. And so you need to make sure that your medications are covered as you like them to be and the best plan for you. So Medicare has this open enrollment, and the dates are October 15th through December 7th. We have SHIP volunteers at the hospital that just want you to call. They encourage you to call and make your appointment now because at the last minute you may not be able to get one because they do fill up. So the important thing is to get your appointment in so you can look at your enrollment or look at your plan and make sure that you're where you want to be. You can actually go online to work on your plan yourself. So the most important thing is just to do it even if you don't want to, because that would be me. So I encourage you to take a look so you're not surprised for next year. The other thing I want to talk to you about is the flu vaccine, and it gets to be a worn out topic, but it's one of the most important things what we can do now. Flu season is coming. Actually, flu is here in Iowa, and the only protection we actually have is the flu vaccine, and I want you to do your best to get your flu vaccine. Even if you don't want to, no one likes a shot. Believe me, I know that more than anybody, but it's important to get a flu vaccine. There is high dose available, and that's for people 65 and older, and if you can get that, that's fine. The recommendation, though, is to get a flu shot. The high dose only covers 3 of the antigens. The regular quadrivalent flu shot, which is what I have and most places have also, covers 4 of the antigens that are out there, or have the antigens that are for the 4 viruses, this is what I should say. So make sure you get your flu shot even if you don't want to. Remember, little kiddos cannot get their first flu shot until they're 6 months old. So if you're sick, you really need to stay away from little babies and don't go into nursing homes or places where you're going to be exposing people that have low immune systems to your potential illness. How's that sound? So take good care of yourself so you can take good care of others. Also, like I say all the time, is good hand washing, cover your cough, and stay home if you're sick, even if you don't want to. I get all that. Another thing I want to talk to you is about preparedness. We've had lots of national disasters, our fires, our flooding, all those things that are going on that we really need to be prepared at home. And our society has gotten used to, if we want something, we go to the store, we can go to Walmart or Hy-Vee, Fairway, Aldi's, wherever you usually shop, and we can pretty much do that daily if we need to. Well, if we have some kind of a disaster where you can't leave your home and you need to make it at home for a few days at least, you need to have a preparedness kit at home. And the Emergency Management Agency, which would be on the website, just if you Googled Emergency Management Agency, Marshall County, Kim Elder would have all the information you need about having your own in-home kit to protect yourself now, or to take good care of yourself. Now, we know that storing water, large amounts of water, large amounts of any food is kind of a hardship, and you think, does it spoil and does it outdate and expire and that type of thing? Well, one thing you can do is actually, go ahead and rotate your water through. If you keep some in your refrigerator, use that, then keep taking it from your storage area and purchasing more for your storage area, so you just kind of keep rotating those supplies through so they stay fresh and they're ready to go when you need them. And then talking about water, I also want to remind people that, Marshalltown has great water. We know that. They won an award for that. And also it has the adequate amount of fluoride that we need, and that's very important for our teeth of all ages, and especially our little ones. One time I believed, I use fluoride toothpaste, so I don't need to have fluoridated water, even though I love Marshalltown's water and drink it. I really realized that I still need to drink it because fluoride is not, and through the toothpaste, is not enough. So you need to actually drink fluoridated water, and that's the best thing you can do for that. Actually, we've talked about this before, the SHIP program that's here at the hospital. They really want people who are Medicare age to make sure that you check your Medicare plans once a year. And open enrollment for SHIP is, I have to take a peek here, is actually October 15th through December 7th, and you want to make sure that you get an appointment. It's free of charge here at the hospital to look at your plan. We think, everything's going great, but they do change with the Medicare plans do change, and you really need to find the one that is best for you at this time because you're changing also. I know someday I'll be looking at that plan and I'm hoping they'll tell me what to do, but I know they won't, but they'll give me the best help that they can, okay? So SHIP stands for Senior Health Insurance Information Program. It's free at the hospital. These are very talented people that know how to help you with deciding what's the best program for you. And it's actually very vital that you do it annually. So now's the time, okay? The other thing I want to talk to you about is that kids are back in school. We know that. It's been, 6 weeks or so. There's already been conferences and football games and all the things that go with having kids out and about again. And this is the time of year when we really need to slow down when we're driving, and actually slow down in life so we can enjoy our children at this age. But slow down driving, pay attention to where you're at. Look at corners, where crosswalks are at. Watch for kids that cross the street where they shouldn't because they're kids and we're the adults and we need to pay attention to help keep them safe. So our mornings when it's busy and it's congested and we all drive during that time and we think, oh my gosh, I love it when the kids aren't in school, but they are there, we need to pay attention to them, and at the end of the day it's the same thing because moms and dads and grandmas and grandpas and aunts and uncles and all kinds of people who take care of children are there to get them back home safely. So slow down and pay attention to what's going on around you. And it gives me an opportunity actually to get out of myself when I'm driving like that, that I really need to pay attention and watch out for our little kids. And also we need to watch out for people at crosswalks because I know myself that cars come driving right toward me as I'm crossing the street, and just be patient and let people that are in the weather outside get across the street safely because you're in a car and you have a little bit more time, believe it or not. So pay attention to other people around you to keep our community safe. One more thing here I wanted to say is that farmers are out working and there's hazards on the road when they're out there moving slower equipment. When I'm driving and I see a slow-moving vehicle ahead of me, I just have to remember the farmers are working. It's their time of year, and we need to help make sure that they're able to do their job so they can take care of all of us too. So slow down, watch for slow-moving vehicles, and be patient, and don't pass in no passing zones. It's tempting, but don't do it because it could lead to a terrible traffic accident or motor vehicle crash is what they call it nowadays. So just be careful and watch out for our slow-moving vehicles while our farmers are working. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about is, mosquito season is still here. This is a time of year that the mosquitoes that are more likely to carry West Nile, the West Nile virus, this is their time of year, late summer, fall, so it's not too late. You still need to protect yourself against mosquito bites. That's the whole deal. Is if you don't get a mosquito bite, you don't have to worry about it. So use your DEET. Read directions on the can. You don't put DEET on children less than 2 months old. Always read the directions so you make sure you know what you're doing, and help protect yourself from a mosquito bite. Do you know that we actually did have a woman die in Iowa in September from West Nile virus, and we don't want that to happen to anybody else, okay? So help protect yourself against mosquito bites. And then talking about bites, the ticks are out too still, and Lyme disease is what we need to protect ourselves from. And actually that is, people get really, really sick with that also, and you don't want a tick bite. So the idea is not get a bite. It's really what it's all about. And use your repellent and looking goofy with the pants tucked into the socks, because ticks actually move. They don't jump, they don't fly, they crawl. So they're on brush that we're brushing against or in the tall grasses. So, and make sure you check yourself for ticks. What's that country western song? Check you for ticks or whatever. Anyway, you need to actually check yourself for ticks because you actually have a window of opportunity of removing them, and the sooner you have a tick off your body, the better off you are, okay? Less likely to get disease. And finally, as we'll be going on for many months still, we're in flu season. I'm at the height of giving flu vaccine, and people have been very kind, and they're thinking about someone besides themselves. I shouldn't say it, that would cut that out, okay? People are taking good care of themselves and taking good care of their families by getting the flu vaccine, and that's what we need to do because that's the only protection we have against the flu virus, and flu does kill. So get your flu vaccine. The opportunities to get vaccine is everywhere, pharmacies, healthcare providers' offices, public health. I give vaccine. And so I've been busy vaccinating our UniPoint Health Marshalltown employees, and then I get to talk to them too, so that's always a good time of year for me. And getting them so we're ready to take care of people, because we can't be sick in order to take good care of people. So get your flu vaccine. Don't hesitate to call me if you have any questions about it, and if you're concerned about it, give me a call. Flu vaccine's been around a long time. It is safe. It is safe to get it. Even people with egg allergies, they really say nowadays, if someone has an egg allergy, we ask more questions about that. We don't just say, oh, and not give you the vaccine. We try to figure out, how severe is your allergy. And you may have to get a healthcare provider's office where they have, they're really prepared to take care of you there for any kind of an emergency, but they want as many people as they can to get the flu vaccine. People that are able to get it should get it 6 months up through the end of life. And remember, our little babies cannot get the vaccine, and it's so you don't want to be around babies if you're sick with anything. So stay home if you're sick, cover your cough, and wash your hands. And have a good day, and I'll see you next time.